Thank you for tuning in. My name is Bolage and we have here a little box today which wants to be unboxed. This is the Motorola Moto E, which just arrived right there in a nice little package, and it's really quite a slim box. So I was wondering, okay, is there a smartphone inside or maybe something else? Also not too much probably, since again, like with the Moto G, the power adapter has to be bought separately. That's not included in the price, but at least we have here two USB ports if you buy it from Motorola, and 1150 milliamp that will be given out. So this is the Motorola Moto E, after the best-selling smartphone by Motorola, which is only available since end of last year. This is really quite impressive how fast they can sell this tiny good Android device. Because it had a flashlight, a decent camera, a decent front camera, perfect size and everything. Now here is the smaller brother, you could say, a little bit cheaper, but still kind of the same specs. 4.3 inch instead of 4.5, a little bit smaller display resolution, but still we have the latest Android 4.4.2 installed, for example, 5 megapixel camera, no flash, and the dual core processor, the Snapdragon 200 I think, 1 gig of RAM and only 4 gigs of internal memory, but this time we have a micro SD card slot inside. So Motorola was listening, we can upgrade the internal memory with up to 128 gigs, that's what I heard. So that's really quite a lot. Let's take a look at the device in just a second. Let's first look at what we get inside the box. If there's no PSU inside, at least there's a micro USB cable inside, so you can charge your phone also over your computer. You don't even need a PSU, or you just use your old PSU if you're on another smartphone, since micro USB has been around for a long time. Then we have a little bit to read, of course in German this time, but you will probably be able to see the pictures that it tells us a little bit how we should set up our phone, what we can do, how we can use a GPS, Wi-Fi, Google, Android and Google Now, for example. So, as I said, 4.3 inch screen. Let's take a look. 960 x 540 pixel resolution, so QHD with a small q. And yeah, it's looking quite good. But let's take a first look around the device. Micro USB here, nothing on the side. Headphone port, on and off switch, and volume rocker. So essentially the same as with the Motorola Moto G, which I will hold in picture here in a second since I have it lying around here. Let me take off the back cover, since that's again possible here to take off. Not that easy, but at least it will be robust, so we can change these covers. I had it, the Moto G for example, also in black, but I decided to put on a red back cover. This is how it would look like, so you can also buy Moto shells for the Motorola Moto E. The battery, as I said, not interchangeable. 1970 milliamps is what inside, or even 80 milliamps. Micro SD and SIM card slot are right there. You need a micro SIM, not a standard SIM or nano SIM, or micro SIM, but micro SD also, so it's quite easy to remember, and yeah, made in China. There we go. So, if I turn on the device, you will see, even though we are outside, let me unlock it, the screen is looking quite good. There's a lot of reflection right now going on here, but otherwise really quite nice quality. Especially in speed, if you look at the phone like that, you can see, of course, the Qualcomm Snapdragon 200 is totally enough for this display resolution and this display size. If I open up the camera, you will see also that shows up quite quickly. Speed also totally alright. But the display could be a little bit better in terms of quality when you look at it from the side. You're able to see it here a little bit, that it gets a bit darker if you hold it up and down. But for example, other cheap smartphones in the $100 area like the Sony Xperia E1 have the same problem. If you look at it from a different angle, the screen will go a little bit away, fade a little bit away, since the screen is the most expensive part usually in a smartphone. So size comparison wise, the E1 or the Motorola Moto E is in size both, or this has 4 inches, this has 4.3 inches, but it's still the same size as Apple iPhone 5S. But of course it's smaller than the Motorola Moto G, since that has a 4.5 inch screen. As I said, it's a little bit smaller that way. But in thickness and everything else, they are about the same. So yeah, that's it about the unboxing of the Motorola Moto E. Thank much for tuning in. The full review will come up soon or go up soon on my YouTube channel, so don't forget to subscribe. Thank much for tuning in, and this was in Devil TV with the Motorola Moto E.